Okay, greetings everyone. This is First Centurion 753 with a new game from my channel, Making History: The Great War. It is a grand strategy game based on World War One, and I think I've referred to it in the past as sort of a geopolitical simulator for the 1914 or something like that. With this scenario, actually, you saw we were playing 1912, 2 years before the Great War. And you can play as any country in the world at the time. And each country has, you can play as any of the major powers: Austro-Hungarian Empire, France, Germany, Italy, Ottoman Empire, Russia, United Kingdom, United States, or you can play as any minor powers. And like I said, each one has sort of like their own backstory here. Cuba, for example, long ago, long one of Spain's last colonial output, Cuba has become an independent at the end of the 20th century through the United States intervention in Spain in favor of Cuban independence. Appeared to be a positive development in terms of the Americans' Platt Amendment have made Cuba into an informal U.S. colony, and through American occupation in 1902, U.S. troops were back again. Were back from 1906 to 1909. Now the administration of Jose Miguel Gomez has entrenched in a corrupt political culture. Socially, discrimination against Afro-Cubans remains rampant and is sure to create a series of unrest. Cuba's economy, however, provides some reasons for hope as sugar exports continue to grow. Can you loosen the United States' grip on Cuba and create a fully independent nation, or will Cuba simply succumb to political, social discord that has plagued Spain's other former colonies? So really, they have like a little backstory for almost every country here, which I think is pretty cool, and provides you sort of like a direction where to go. I did try playing as Cuba for a little bit there just to sort of learn the ins and outs of the game. There wasn't really much I could do with Cuba, but so I don't necessarily remember playing that one. But I've been thinking about maybe doing like a South American state or something like that, maybe Colombia. There's like a grand Colombia, I think, trigger event that you can do and everything. But to start, I am probably going to play for the first series in this channel, and I hope this game is interesting to the subscribers on my channel. Like I said, geopolitical simulator for like 1912 kind of version seems to be something that would be interesting for subscribers. And I do have to thank subscriber and Patreon supporter Eddie Giles for actually buying me this game, which has been a tremendous amount of fun. I am going to play as Japan, though. And Japan is not a major power, it is a regional power. You have, you see great powers here, but then there's regional powers. There's also minor powers. I guess Cuba was a minor nation, right? And then there's like puppet states, too. But I'm going to go ahead and, for the first episode, play as Japan. Japan is the only non-Western nation that has proven itself equal of other great powers. As a rapid effort to modernize its government, its economy, and its military, Japan won a complete and shocking victory against Russia in 1905, solidifying its influence in China and securing a growing empire. Having officially annexed Formosa, Taiwan, in 1895 and Korea in 1910, Japan now seems poised to continue wringing concessions from a new Chinese republic racked by internal tremors. In 1902, Treaty of Alliance with the United Kingdom has paid dividends. Its 1902 Treaty of Alliance with the United Kingdom has paid dividends, and it may yet prove useful if war breaks out between Britain and Germany. Eventually, however, the land of the rising sun may rethink its difference to the west if it continues to expand. Can you gain Japan its rightful place at the table besides the likes of France, Germany, and Britain, or will the West close ranks and prevent Japan from making any real gains? We have a world ranking of 8th, and this is military. I'm going to go over this stuff actually when we get the game going in here in a little bit. As soon as this loads, hopefully. It's loading. I think it's loading. But Japan is it's an interesting sideshow in World War One. They're not as involved. They do side with the Allies as opposed to World War Two. Those of you who didn't know, Japan, as I mentioned there, the treaty with England brings Japan on the side of the Allies when England, get out of my face, when England eventually gets involved in the war after Germany invades Belgium. So, leading up to this, I read a book called The Guns of August, which is written by Barbara Tuchman. That sort of is the Guns of August is sort of like the traditional World War One book. It's like one of the most well-read and well-acknowledged. If you listen to lectures on World War One, they constantly talk about. Professors will constantly refer to that book and everything, and I think everyone who's pretty much played this game seriously that I've read, that I've seen online, has read the book. So I read the book and got an idea of what the game's going to be like. If you look at the game to start off, the map is sort of different from traditional maps. It's kind of got like this tilted angle of the world, which I actually think is kind of cool because it's sort of like a different version of it. Some YouTubers complained about it, I think. But I was okay with it, so I think it's kind of cool. And you can zoom in and everything. And there's different standard views. That's more of like a geographic view. Political views, demographic maps show different ethnicities, regional status. You can get unrest. There's really no unrest right now, no risk of revolt. So there's detailed map. This is interesting. Dependencies. Actually, some of this I didn't notice last time. So Japan does have Formosa here, as we said, and that's a colony. And then there is a protectorate here, which is the Manchurian zone. This is the South Manchurian Railway Zone, which is, I guess, something they annexed during the Sino-Japanese War. One of the annexations there. So there's a lot of detail involved in here. Territorial disputes, contested claims, sphere of influence, etc., etc. A lot involved in these maps. National stability. I want to take a look at that. Low, none. Severe, none. I think that's supposed to be like none instability. So, I think there are a few things that the game might be missing here and there, detail-wise, but it's pretty good, I think, in general. This is interesting. I actually didn't notice all these different options for the maps before. Wow. Okay, so this is a pretty standard political map to look at. Probably going to go over, like I said, just do a general overview of the game for this first episode. But background-wise, for World War I Japan, like we said, Japan did join the Allies, and Germany does have a few colonial possessions out here in the Mariana Islands, Palau. I think these are the Carolinian Islands. They might have been called the Bismarck Islands at one point. So traditionally, what Japan does is capture a number of these possessions. So I think that might be, if war does break out, we might try to go after that. I actually don't have an alliance to start with England. For some reason, the game doesn't have that alliance started, so I'm not part of the Allies. But I'm going to try for an alliance with the Allies, most likely. It'll depend on how things will go in Europe, how the war goes in Europe. But I think expansion in China is definitely going to be a big option for me, as Japan here. And I did do a playthrough where I did actually conquer China, so I'll probably go ahead and try to do that again. The next target is going to be the Dutch East Indies, which is a colony. The Dutch are actually neutral in World War I. They do not get involved. Like Belgium is sort of forced into it. The Germans do not go through the Netherlands at all, and the Dutch remain neutral. So, not being part of the Allied powers means that they don't have the protection and of the Allied powers. And so, I'm sorry if my screen is flashing here. I'm starting to see that right now. That's weird. I don't know why that's happening. But anyways, I don't have any volume. I think there is volume. Music volume. Whoa. There we go. Hopefully that's not too loud. The sound volume does get loud in this game. Anyways, I'm not sure if that's too loud or not. I'm going to sort of turn that off for this introduction and test if I hear the sound in the first video. So probably going to invade China and the Dutch East Indies and expand the Japanese Empire that way. I may side with, again, try to side with the Allies and then possibly capture German possessions. Germans also have this port here, which would be another nice grab. Or if things went the other way, I could grab some of the British ports or the French. We'll see. But again, Allies I think are more powerful to start. And then there's Russia. Russia's this big, vast behemoth of a country that we have to worry about in this game. And while I'm going to try not to go directly to war with Russia, there are going to be ways that I can use to sort of fragment Russia, support different independence movements, and so on and such. So that's going to be sort of my general policy. I'm going to try to avoid war with America. I don't want to get involved with them. They are far too powerful diplomatically. This is economically. This is interesting. This is a Mexican independence movement. I think this is Pancho Villa that they add this to the game. America does intervene down there at one point, and so we have General Blackjack Pershing, I think, leading very small expeditionary force, nothing like what they're going to send to Europe, but I think Patton is down there, and a couple other famous generals, MacArthur maybe, I'm not sure, but that's sort of like where they first make, that's like a young Patton gets into like a shootout or something like that, when I think I read about him down there, so there's some interesting history towards that whole conflict, but I'm not going to get involved in that on this turn, or in this this series or this episode series. So let's take a look at some of the other screens we have here. With Japan, you have control of Japan, but you also have control of your colonies as well, Japanese Formosa and the Southern Manchurian Rail Zone, so it's important to remember that. Although they don't have any forces to start. Military readiness is 50% maintenance level. I think it's 50% because it's low readiness, but that can be adjusted as the war goes on, and you do want to increase your readiness when you get ready to go to war. I think it'll be cheaper that way. Here's all the breakdown. That's how much you can support with low readiness, 250 units. There are 89 that I have total. Maintenance is costing me 147, and then a mobilization rate of how quickly I can recruit is 3%. Military morale is also important to keep that up. Right now we are at peace, and there's military supplies. All the supplies are up here. These are the main supplies and resources. There's coal, metal, oil, food, cash, as well as steel, fuel, arms, gas, shells, and then there's infrastructure with shipping capacity, rail capacity, and road capacity. So all that's involved there. Here's a list of all the army units. We've got militia, 12 militia, 6 cavalry, 8 infantry, 2 mounted infantry, 1 engineer, and 5 marines, all involved here. No artillery yet. No planes, and our ships are all coal-burning ships. You see the sea there. 7 destroyers. I guess this is maintenance cost. 24 cruisers and 12 battleships. Troop transports, those, you don't actually build those. I think you just send the troops out and they automatically transport themselves. But then there's oil-based ships, destroyers, and coal-based ships have gunboats. I don't know what the purpose or the advantage of the gunboats are. But oil-based ships have destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carriers, as well as submarines. So there's some technology to advance there. And then there's manpower. How much is being committed to the military, how much is available, so on. So all that's important stuff to pay attention to. You can have a screen here that tells you where you compare with everyone else. Russia has the most militia, and Germany has the most infantry. Interesting. Austria-Hungary with a pretty large infantry number there, actually. Engineers. I don't think there's any assault troops yet. Cavalry, Russia. Ottoman Empire has some cavalry. Mounted infantry, Marines, etc., etc. This screen actually tells you the breakdown of where people rank. Military MPUs, these are population units for recruitment, how many you have to recruit. Oh no, this isn't the ranking. That's something else. The ranking is here, though. There's no artillery yet. Oh, somebody has artillery. Field artillery. Oh, the French, the Russians. Italy's got 10. Austria-Hungary. Some of them do have artillery, I guess. Heavy artillery. Wow. Germans have heavy artillery. Observable balloons are involved in the game. I don't think anyone has any aircraft, though, right? Air Force attack power. Well, rigid airship Zeppelins. Looks like the Germans have 2 of those. Fighters? Nobody. Bombers. I don't know how big air power will eventually play in the game. Navy ships. This is going to be important. I am seeing this. This is not good here. The way the screen is sort of flashing. I'm very concerned about that. That's going to hurt me in this series. I hope this doesn't... I don't know why that's going on. Maybe it's my computer. I haven't turned my computer off in like weeks. So I do have to turn it off. For some reason I was saving a internet page of like 40 different games that I want to buy on this oldgames.com, goodoldgames.com. I don't know, but those are like classic. I'm probably going to be having some classic game series coming up soon. Coal power cruisers. United Kingdom's got the most. United Kingdom has the most points for the Navy. Germany is second. France, United States, Japan is fifth, but far behind them in as far as firepower goes. That's 24 cruisers to their 142. Of course, China is not on the list, and no real enemies. Russia, I guess, is our biggest threat, I think. They may want revenge from the Russo-Japanese War. Groups will have the different armies, as well as fleets. So that's actually every ship. Here's the fleets. And then military command, like we said, we already looked at this. So that's your military screen. Diplomatically, different wars that are currently involved here. You can support the war. I don't know what that does actually when you support the war. Or declare war. So there are some options there. And it looks like the Italians and the Ottomans are at war. This is Arabic War, somewhere in the Arabian Peninsula, I believe. That is the Mexican Independence War. The Dervish, these are the Dervish states. I don't know where they are, but a lot of people, I don't know where these are. Oh, down there. Oh, it's like an Ethiopian conflict. Okay. So that's going on there. That's Italy. And, yeah, these are all Ethiopian. And I guess the Allies are involved in that, too. Here are all the Allied... Well, those are some of the Allies. That's not all the Allies. What is with this screen breaking down on me? Oh, no. I hope this doesn't affect the whole series. And Albania versus the Ottoman Empire. There's another war going on there. Here are the major alliances. The British Alliance, which is the Allied powers, which at this point includes Russia, France, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, Dominion of Newfoundland, Kingdom of Morocco, Afghanistan, Darfur, Nepal, Swaziland, other Arab countries. The German Empire Alliance is the Triple Alliance. You got the Austro-Hungarians and the Italians. Whether that will last or will the Italians switch sides again? I think there are event triggers in the game that do gear you towards a traditional history. And then there's a Greek alliance for some reason. Doesn't seem to. That's like Crete right there. I don't think that seems to be a major alliance. Direct rule versus indirect rule over these dependencies. And then there are the empires in general. Japan does have an empire, like we said. We've got 2 colonies here. The American Empire exists. The Philippine territories, Hawaii, Alaska, American Pacific territories, and Puerto Rico. All parts of that. The French Empire. Very interesting. World governments. Alright, this screen will tell you who's leading in what categories overall. World power, the most powerful, and then there's different government systems here. The most powerful are these great powers here, and then there's regional powers. But powerful is England with world power points in general. Good God, this game is flashing a lot. Oh, this stinks. Alright, military points. Maybe I need another... Maybe I can do this on XSplit. I'm sorry about this. Military points. Tells you the military strength. Germany's second. Russia is third. Then the French, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Italians. The Americans actually have a lot of military points here. That's interesting. I didn't expect them to have that much, I guess. Then the Japanese. Production. America is at the top with production. British, then the French. Japanese way down there. Research points. The Germans are at the top with the research points. Influence points. The British take the top. So, that breaks down that category. Yeah. And then there's a political category. This is current global status as a regional power leader of the Japanese Empire. World ranking. Your government and radicalization of different groups such as democratic groups, socialist groups, nationalist groups, and theological groups. And there are ways to impact these in general. I think, yeah, you can do it mostly through your government policy and your spending. Education, I think, is tied to democratic radicalization. Social welfare is tied to socialism. Social welfare programs, propaganda tied to nationalism, religion to theocracy, and purge corruption, reduces corruption in general, which there's the corruption statistic. So taxes, war weariness, demographics, I don't know what role they play. 7 factories with an industrial capacity of 45. Very interesting. And then there's research. Currently, we are researching industrialization, but when you research different technologies, there will be, in addition, different projects that you have to research as well that make different things available. Trade agreements, we don't have any diplomatic influence with different countries. They are neutral right now with that influence. And diplomatic relations. Here's all our relations. We are not at any war. We have trade access treaty through the Republic of China. And none of these other treaties exist. Port access, military access, trade embargoes, or financial agreements. There's our empire. Different nationalities per province within the empire. And I'm not sure exactly what the impact of those are. Here's where you could be giving financial aid to other political factions or to other countries. And then you have the economy, the stockpiles. Again, you control your main country as well as your colonies. And these are the different resources that you have all listed up there. And whether they are in demand or surplus. You've got your projected spending, government programs, military readiness, other areas, imports and such. And this is mostly maintenance, city buildings, transportation network. That's maintenance costs. Yeah, government spending and maintenance costs. For total estimated spending, and then a net profit. Profit comes in from taxes, city taxes, regional taxes, colonies, exports, financial aid, and then different industries can also bring in production income as well. So all that is involved here in this game. Next we have, I just did this. Next we go into production. And each city can have different factories, or a different amount of factories actually per city. They also could possibly have recruitment centers. And here's where you would have your city list of what each city has, and the number of factories, city research institutions, university. Here are whether or not it's a port, research facilities, could be barracks, could be a research recruitment center, recruitment facilities. There are medical centers, power stations, fisheries, slaughterhouse, canneries, and all this stuff is actually available online. You can look up a... I am getting killed with this screen. Keeps flashing like that. Why? Oh, wow, this video is going to stink. Ah. So disappointing. Okay, so... infrastructure includes different things, like I said, food, transport, defenses, etc. You have food per turn, different types of farms. This is your transport capacity as well as your defenses. And then there are resources, and this is actually one thing I am going to do right off the bat in this turn. I am going to... How did I want to do this? Reserves. Output is 10, but reserves is 23, so that tells me we should expand output. There we go. So I'm going to expand output to meet all the reserves. You need low rail density here. That does cost money to improve your density, by the way. But expanding output I don't think costs too much. Yeah, it costs a little bit right there. So, expand output. I don't know if the output is more than reserve. I don't know the impact of that. So I'm just not going to touch that. Expand output, and that's everything we're going to do for that turn involving production. I probably should also start building things in certain cities. I think I do want to start with like a university. We have a university there. University, which costs $100 per turn. Or $100 total in 20 turns, so it's 5 per turn, I think, right? I don't know. Start with 3 universities, just for this turn. And then I'm going to take some time and look at this, and I'm really disappointed with the way the recording is going here, so I apologize. May have to do this on XSplit. As far as goes, there are several projects that were available. I'm going to go with heavy industry, those, because that opens up all these other different projects. So we're going to go with that first to start. Trade. Trade is something I do need, because I do need to balance out these stockpiles here. So coal, I'm looking to buy coal, so I need people who are selling it. Canada would be a good one. Alright, the offer is to buy coal every turn. I don't have any capacity, so I need to get them to be responsible for shipping it. And that is good. Proposal to Japan, by Japan, to import coal from Canada is accepted, and we now have a stockpile surplus there. Sweden has a lot of metal. 23 every turn. They're responsible for it. Yes, excellent. Now we're bringing in tons of metal. Steel is the last thing I need for now. Although I do need to start building some steel factories, so I do want to be self-sufficient with steel. Russia, we do not have a lot of diplomatic influence with them. Again, the war. Germany, or the United States. Let's make an offer to the States, make them responsible, and we're good. So we now have a surplus in every area for now. So that's that. Trade agreements are done. And I think I have everything for the first turn that I plan on doing. And again, I'm terribly sorry about the recording. And I almost feel like we're already gone 30 minutes. I almost feel like I want to redo it, but I don't have any time to redo it. Hopefully next time I'll try it on XSplit to see if it works better. But hopefully that hasn't deterred people from wanting to watch the series. So, yeah. And as you get closer, you can see different forces, different cities, provinces. What's going on in each one of these, and what they have. And here are different army units, and we are going to probably wage war against the Chinese here in the north. Seemed to work out pretty good last time. When you move your troops, if you move them, you can order them to march, but you can also order them to move through internal transport. However, that internal transport will cost you fuel, which I do need a surplus of that too. I wonder if I should grab that as well. Fuel, France. Make an offer. Yes. Fuel stockpile is coming. And again, it's costing us some money, but we have plenty of money. 20,000. I must be playing. I don't know if I'm playing on like a lower level or not. Arms. I'm trading a lot with France. Kind of want. Denmark is offering 32. Ching. And we're still making 700 per turn. And we have surpluses building in every category. Can I get more oil from anybody? Canada. Yes. Alright, so we're stocking up heavily on all our resources here. Here's all the different trade agreements. And that's going to be it for this episode. I'll do one turn and see what happens. And I'm sure there'll be commentary down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what else I need to add. Oh, what happened? The metal deal fell through with Sweden. Conflict has already started. Several nations. Or maybe it's the my demand that went up. Did the contract go through, or did the contract fall apart? And here's all your projects, everything that you're working on. And this does require a lot of consumption, which is probably where the metal is going. So, anyways, let me know if you like the game. I'll try to fix the problem there. Hopefully it doesn't come out on the screen too much with that flashing. And see if I can switch and record this in other another software. But I was thinking about doing, if you guys are interested, I was thinking about doing some live streams for this on Twitch. I'm going to be releasing this on Sunday. But, and I was going to do it Sunday night, but it looks like I'm having some issues with my tax information on Twitch. It's taken them a while to confirm that for some reason. I don't know why. So I might not be doing a live stream Sunday night. Instead, live streaming probably Monday and Tuesday. This game, as well as I'll bring back Imperialism, was kind of popular last Thursday. So Mondays and Tuesdays, one day we'll see how popular making history here is, the Great War. And I'm also probably going to continue the game I have with imperialism, playing as Sardinia, where everybody has declared war on me in that game, in that imperialism game. So again, sorry for the flashing going on here, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. And leave a like if you do like this thing, and you'd like to see, and make a comment if you'd like to see more of this video or other videos in this game, because I think I was hoping this would be a new game for the channel, but you guys let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.